All right, let's talk about something we all use, we all want, we all worry about pretty much every single day: money. But what actually is it? I'm not talking about the definition you memorize for a test. I mean, what is it scientifically? That's what we're going to unpack today, so let's get right into it. So yeah, let's just start with that massive question right there. What is money? And look, the answer feels pretty obvious, doesn't it? It's kind of the first thing you learn in any basic economics class. But you know what? That simple, straightforward answer is hiding a much, much bigger story. The standard story goes something like this. Money is just a handy tool, a totally neutral medium of exchange that lets us buy and sell stuff without having to, trade chickens for shoes. It's presented as this clean, simple solution to a practical problem. And that's it. End of story, right? Well, not so fast. Because that simple definition, well, it pretty much immediately crashes into a giant wall. It creates a riddle, a puzzle that it just can't solve. Think about it. If money is just a neutral measuring stick, what is it actually measuring? And this is where it gets really, really weird. I mean, just look at this. You've got a smartphone. It's packed with circuits, specialized glass, rare metals, all put together in some high-tech factory. And then over here, you have 50 cotton t-shirts. Woven plant fiber sewn in a workshop. Physically, they have absolutely nothing in common. And yet, the market tells us they're equal. They can both have a value of $1,000. How on earth is that possible? So, what is it then? What's the invisible substance, the secret ingredient they share that allows us to say they're the same? It's obviously not their weight, or their purpose, or the materials they're made of. What is that price tag actually latching onto? That's the riddle we have to solve. Okay, so to crack this thing open, we have to stop looking at the phone and the t-shirts themselves. The answer isn't in the objects. The real secret is in how they came to be. And boom, there it is, the one and only thing that all commodities, from a pencil to a skyscraper, have in common. It's that human beings had to work to create them. That's it. They are all just different kinds of containers for human labor. That is the invisible substance we were looking for. It's the common ground that makes them comparable. So if value comes from work, how do you measure that? This brings us to a super important idea: labor power. See, when you get a job, you aren't actually selling the reports you'll write or the coffees you'll make. What you are actually selling is your ability to work for a certain amount of time. It's your capacity to create value, all packaged up into hours on a timesheet. That's the real commodity that's being bought and sold. Okay, but wait a minute. You might be thinking, what if I'm a really slow t-shirt maker and it takes me 10 hours, but the person next to me can do it in 1? Is my shirt worth 10 times more? Great question. And the answer is no. This is where the real genius comes in. Value isn't about any one person's effort. It's determined by socially necessary labor time. That's just a fancy way of saying the average time it takes to make something, using the average skills and technology available today. It creates a social standard that makes all different kinds of labor comparable. All right, let's put these pieces together. We figured out that all commodities are basically just frozen human labor, and that this labor is measured by a social average of time. Once you really get that, the true secret of money just clicks into place. The logic just flows perfectly from one step to the next. First, you have this universal substance, abstract human labor. Then you get a universal way to measure it: socially necessary labor time. And from there, it's almost inevitable that the market singles out one special commodity to act as a universal mirror, a reflection of the value in all the others. That special commodity, that universal equivalent, well, that's what we call money. So this is our new scientific definition. Forget about money being some neutral little tool. Money is the physical, material form of abstract human labor. It's the stuff you can hold in your hand that represents that invisible substance we've been chasing this whole time. Okay, so that's a lot of theory, but why does any of it actually matter in the real world? Well, because it totally transforms how you look at something as basic as a simple price tag. The next time you're shopping and you see a price, say $29.99, you're not just looking at a number anymore, you're looking at a code. And that code is a claim on a very specific amount of our society's total labor time. It's a ticket that you can exchange for a slice of the work everyone else is doing. And if you remember one thing from this, let it be this: a price is not about the relationship between you and an object you want to buy. It's a social relationship between people.
that's just disguised to look like a relationship between things. It's a hidden thread connecting you, the person who made the item, the person who owns the factory, and this whole giant global web of human work.
And that leaves us with one last, enormous question to chew on. If real money is the expression of real human labor spent making real things, then what do we do with the trillions upon trillions of dollars of so-called fictitious capital? Stocks, speculative assets, cryptocurrencies that seem totally disconnected from any actual labor. What does that ever-widening gap between the real economy and the financial casino tell us about the health of the very system money is supposed to measure?